everyone, this is Elisa from Anaya's Toy Box Crochet, and my kids are here too. Anyways, I thought I'd show you all the stuff I finished working on and all the stuff that I am working on now. My FOs and my wipes. So this is one of them that I finished working on. This is my heart from my heart pattern that you can find in my Ravelry store, only my Ravelry store. I decided to make one to honor, yes, to honor all the doctors and the nurses and everyone else who works in the hospitals, the delivery people. Yes, Amazon, which is the delivery people.
I love how Batman always mentions Amazon.
Yeah, he really does like Amazon.
Because they deliver toys.
He wouldn't have birthday presents without Amazon. Anyways, except for Cuds. For the delivery people, the sanitation workers, the transit workers, the pharmacy workers, the grocery store workers, and anybody else that I am forgetting. Thank you all so much for everything you do. You guys are amazing. You rock. So this is my little heart dedicated to you guys. So I need to talk about something that I'm really excited about. I finished a 2019 whip. I finished my dragon. Take a look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? Look at that. Look at that. Look at the wings. Take a look at her wings and her tail. And look how this tail is kind of fuzzy, goes beyond the tail.
Yeah, Madison had surgery till her first video.
Okay, we are talking about the dragon right now.
To say that.
Okay, so this is one of my 2019 whips that is finished. Look at the face. Oh, do you see her face? Isn't she so cute? This dragon is by Imagine That Creative Designs. She's got a lot of dragons. If you love dragons, you need to go to her store. She's got a lot of dragons. This particular one is the Mystic Snow Dragon. She's beautiful. I love it. I had a little bit of trouble finishing her off. I think it was just a mental block because of everything that's going on. But I finished her. She is done and she is glorious. So to tell you a little bit of a story about her. Is this I don't know. I might be making a short story long. I don't know. I was working on another dragon. I had 3 dragon patterns at the time. I was working on the Manic Yarns Baby Sugar Dragon. And I was making it for my daughter. And yeah. She was going. These dragons are complicated and take a lot of time to make. You can't make this in a week. And I had my friend's daughter or my daughter's friend, both works, was having a birthday, and I had decided I'm going to make her a sloth because she's an animal lover, and I thought she'll love a sloth. Of course she'll love a sloth. And so I had in mind that I'll make a sloth for her starting a week before her birthday. I'll make it, and it should be done by the time that it's her birthday. And meanwhile, I was still working on Baby Sugar, the dragon. And then I got a little bit, I don't know, she's an animal lover, but what if sloths are not the animals she loves? What if she loves another animal?
She loves all animals. Though.
Please stop. Okay? She loves all animals, but what if sloths aren't quite the one she likes? So I said, hey.
Turn on their notification bells.
Thank you.
You did not say that to them.
So I decided to ask her what her favorite animal is. And then I thought I'd work with her favorite animal. She might like bears the most, or she might like penguins the most. I would just ask her what her favorite animal was, and I would make that. She said dragon. Now, this dragon I can't make in a week. And so I thought about it, and I had another dragon pattern, which is this one.
His name
This is the Neo... Yes, Draggy is his name. This is the Neogurumi pattern. It's beautiful. It's so cute. And it is much more simple than this one or even the baby dragon I was working on at the time. And so I thought I'd make this one. So I took it out. My son sees it and he goes, no, that's my dragon. I'm like, wait, but I need to make a dragon for her. I'll make you this dragon and you can have, I'll give this one to her. And he's like, no. This is my dragon.
I want that, whatever it is.
Yeah, okay. So he's like, no, this is my dragon. I want this one to be mine. I don't want you to make that one. And one thing you might slowly learn about me is I hate making the same project twice, especially if it's twice in a row. I will make the same project more than once. I will. But I don't like doing it twice in a row. So I'm like, what am I going to do? So I went up to this little girl right here and said, hey, how would you like this dragon? And I give the one I'm making for you to her. And she agreed to it. She liked this dragon. And so it all worked out. The little girl got her present, but my poor daughter had to wait months for her dragon. Just showing you some details. Look at the feet. Look at the feet. The back has knees. The front one has knees and the back doesn't. And yes, her name is Icy. Really beautiful pattern, but you can't make it in a week. And just to let you guys know, this is an advanced pattern. You need, don't think you just started making amigurumi, you'll definitely be able to do it, because it is complicated. It's not easy to do the first try. Have some experience before you try. You can totally do it. Just get some experience first. So this is my first finished project, or I guess the heart was my first finished project. This is my second finished project. She's done. You can't get her yet. I still have to take pictures. My kids aren't allowed to get their stuff until, except for in the case of my next one, which is Cuds or Rusty the fox. Except for this case, he was able to get it before I took the pictures. But usually they're not allowed to get it before the pictures, right?
Yeah.
So this is, I've showed it before. This is the velvet yarn where I had stitch markers on every stitch to be able to see it. Project, which is Rusty the fox. Available both in my Ravelry and my Etsy store. But this particular one is called Cuds. I am not allowed to call him Rusty. My son keeps correcting me if I call him Rusty. His name is Cuds. Whatever. Cuds. So my advice to all of you people who are not familiar or have not worked with velvet yarn a lot is don't make it in a deadline. Seriously, I decided I'm going to only work on this at night after my son is gone to sleep. And I gave myself plenty of time to finish it off if I was using regular yarn.
The night before his birthday, she was up all night making
Oh my gosh, yes. I ended up staying up till 2 in the morning.
Oh gosh.
Finishing this up on the day of his birthday. Or like the morning of his birthday So on the 9th, he was going to wake up in the morning and I was working on this till 2. He woke me up like at 7 o'clock because it was his birthday. He was excited and I was a zombie for the rest of the day.
You only got 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah. So this, the problem with working on something when you're tired and you just want to go to sleep, but you have to finish it because someone's going to have his birthday and you don't want to disappoint him, is that you end up sewing on the head wrong. I sewed on the head wrong. He's got a bit of a crooked head. But it's okay because
I like him.
He likes him. And he sleeps with him every night, so it worked out, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful.
Okay.
Okay. So it kind of worked out. So this is I finished this one first, by the way. I finished the next one first, too. The latest one I finished was really the dragon, but I was too excited to show it to you in order. I showed you my first project that I finished, and then the latest one, without showing you everything else. There are some projects in between that I finished that I can't show you because they were tests, and I can't show you tests until because every designer wants to be the first person to show off their pattern. So I don't think I did ask permission and I did get permission, but at the end I'm like, it's not fair for me to show off their pattern first. So you'll see it in a later day. This one is my pattern. This is Penelope, the gymnast. She is inspired by a very famous gymnast. I'll let you guess what her name is. And here she is with her Olympic gold medal after she finished her floor routine.
Put the name of her in the description.
I won't put the name. Everyone will know.
Oh.
Okay?
I don't know.
I'll tell you later. Anyways. This is for the In the Round magazine. And hopefully she'll be chosen to be published. I won't know until the magazine comes out for sure. By the way, Sunny was chosen to be published in the magazine. My daughter loves the little story the owner of the magazine puts in, and she wants me to make a doll, name it after her, so she's in the story. But anyways, I digress. She will hopefully be in the Round magazine, and whether she is or she isn't, I will not be selling this doll. Well, maybe this particular doll I will sell, but I won't be selling the pattern, mostly because it's exactly like Penelope the ballerina. The only difference is Penelope the ballerina has some flowers in her hair and has a tutu, and this one has a medal. And those are the differences. So I think it's very easy for anyone who has the Penelope the ballerina to turn her into a gymnast just by not putting the tutu on. And there you go. That's all you have to do. So I don't believe in selling the same pattern in two different ways to anybody. If she doesn't end up in the Round magazine, if I make a Penelope publication, like a book of Penelope, I might put her in there, but she will not be sold on her own.
Which is military.
What?
Okay. So this is Penelope the ballerina, which will hopefully make an appearance in the Round magazine. I had actually the same deadline for both of them. It was a very stressful week. I had to make this one during the night and this one during the day so I could make the deadline for testing for her. And I had to finish him for my son for his birthday. So I was working on this one during the day. I was working on this one during the night. This one was finished faster because I could work in front of him and I wasn't working with velvet yarn.
You literally got no.
Yeah, it was a little stressful.
And for Cuds, I figured him out because I saw the head when she was doing the.
Yes, somebody spied on my work and saw the head and realized, oh, you're making me a fox. Bye-bye surprise.
And we were all triggered.
Bye-bye surprise and all the effort of working only at night. So this is my Hat Not Hate contribution. The pattern is by Fiber Spider. It's a waffle stitch hat. I absolutely love it. I made an amigurumi hack to this, which if you make amigurumi, you know if you want to make a bigger doll, use a bigger hook. If you want to make a smaller doll, use a smaller hook. So the Fiber Doodles pattern was with using it's a free pattern, so I could talk about it, was I believe using an I hook for adults. So I used an H hook to make it for kids. I think I should have stayed with the I hooks because I do crochet tight and this is a little bit snug. She could still wear it and it will stretch out after wear. It is a little bit snug on my daughter. But anyways, this is my first Hat Not Hate. Hopefully I will make more. I make amigurumi, not hats, so I am not going to be able to whip this out in any fast way. It was very interesting learning a new stitch because I never did the waffle stitch before. And I had fun making it, and I hope to make more. Oh, I do have another finished product. Where is it? It's behind me. I made a basket. It's full of yarn. Let me take those yarns. Let me take the yarn out. These are my scraps that I really have. Like, it's taking up all the room. I'm getting ahead of myself. Look at this basket. Isn't it pretty? This is my scrap basket. Not just because I put scraps in it, but also it's made out of scraps. This is, I saw Seta's place. She was making this beautiful basket. And I'm like, ooh, I want to make that basket. It's a Jada in Stitches pattern, which is a YouTube channel. You can get it. It's really fun. It's quick to make up. You're holding 3 strands of yarn at the same time. I did not have a 10mm hook, which is what this calls for. So I used an 8mm hook. I think it worked up great. It is significantly smaller than the Jada and Stitches. Jada and Stitches, the diameter from here to here is 30 centimeters. This one is 20 centimeters. So 10 centimeters less. It's quite a bit smaller. It's about 10 centimeters is what? About 4 inches? Or 3 inches? 4, are you sure? Mm-hmm. 10 centimeters is about 5 inches less?
I think.
We're not sure. I don't know. I've lived here for a very long time, but I'm still Canadian. And I think in metric. I do not think in inches.
I'm also Canadian. Her own son.
Yes. Both my children were born here in the States, but I am from Canada, and I learned measurement in centimeters. So I do have a little bit of trouble when it comes to converting. still, even though I've been here for a while. But anyways, I made this basket. I love it. I love it so very much that I'm making another one. Also out of scraps. Okay? Also out of scrap. My daughter is reminding me that I forgot something in my finished projects. I know I forgot, but I'm still working on this finished project, so I'm just showing you the basket again. So this is the one. It's also in scraps. Both of these yarns, they have so many different yarns. This one has this pink from...
Don't forget to show the turtle.
I will show the turtles, don't worry.
And then just put it right next
Okay, so there's so many different scraps in this one, and hopefully I already have lots of different scraps in this one. Like I've already gone through 5 or 6 skeins or leftover skeins of scraps. In this one, the main color running through it is gray. This is Red Heart Heat Wave. I got it on sale last time I went to Michael's before everything closed down. And yeah, I'm working scraps. So let me just put all the yarn back in here so I don't forget everything. Again, I'm using an 8mm hook because I do not have a 10mm. And yeah, so another finished up project that is there is, I believe I mentioned at some point that March will be my month of turtles. March was not my month of turtles because of everything that happened. Here's a little turtle that my son made.
Shout out to...
What? There's no need to shout out.
Tinker.
Yeah, okay. So this is a little turtle that my son made. And what does he keep inside it? Another turtle. There's a turtle.
What's inside that turtle? Stuffing.
Yes, there's stuffing inside that turtle. So I was going to make these turtles for my son's birthday. Yeah, that one is hers. For my son's birthday so that I could hand it out when he has his, when he's cutting his birthday cake in the class. So I was going to make one for every child in the class and every adult in the class, which I would put a keychain for the adults and made it into a key ring. That didn't happen because, by the time I was still working on these, I knew I had to get
Corona time.
I had to get thing, but then social distancing happened.
Corona time.
And I didn't continue. I still have just the tops of 2 more that I need to finish, and I will finish it. Other than that, this one will go back in this box. It's my son's. And this one right here will go back in someone's hand. And these ones will go back in the bag, and it will sit there until next April, when I will make the rest for however many there happens to be in his class, and I'll hand it out then. So this one, March was not the month of, February was a month of beards, and March was supposed to be the month of turtles.
The month of beards didn't come out.
Yeah, but her play did get canceled, so the month of the beards did not get used, but I did make every single one of them. So I did spend the whole month making beards. And I was supposed to spend the whole month making turtles, but that didn't happen. It will happen. I will still be giving out these turtles for his birthday, but his birthday is going to be next birthday when he's a little older, rather than this birthday.
Like 6.
So I wanted to show you something else. I started working on, guess what? Another dragon. This is using this ice yarn. If you remember, I got the ice yarn.
It's supposed to be shiny, but once you use it...
It's still shiny. You could still see some shine. It's not as much. But remember my ice yarn that I got a whole bunch of orange to make a dragon? Yeah, it is very pretty, isn't it? So this is a dragon.
It's soft. It's soft.
Yep, I already told them all about it.
I didn't tell me anything about it.
I didn't tell you anything about it. So I'm working on the legs. I have done 3 of them. I am working on the 4th. This yarn is beautiful. It's wonderful. And I think if you are a fast crocheter, you will love it because it really is very smooth going in and out of your stitches. However, I did not train myself to be a fast crocheter. I trained myself to be a tight crocheter. And
but you're still pretty fast.
Thank you. It's very nice of you to say so, but trust me, everyone who's watching me is faster. Because I trained myself, I trained myself to be a tight crocheter. This slipperiness is hard. My hands do hurt after making a little bit of this because I had to hold on to the yarn really tight since it was so slippery. It would just slip by and I'd have loose stitches and I'd be undoing it. It doesn't take frogging well, this yarn. So I'd undo it and then hold it tighter. And after a while, my little pinky started hurting. So this is an amazing. I will finish it. I love the yarn. I will use the yarn, even if it's a little bit of a trouble. But I will take my time on it. I am not going to finish this tomorrow or the day after. I will take my time and make sure I don't have fingers that hurt. Thank you. Can I put it back in the bag?
Fine.
She's squeezing the yarn.
It's soft.
It's soft. She's squeezing the yarn.
Slippery.
It is slippery. She's squeezing the yarn.
And not anymore.
Okay, she's not anymore.
I have a bag.
All right. So the next thing I wanted to show you was this. This is my next whip. This is a purse from Darn Good Yarn. Thank you, sweetheart. From Darn Good Yarn. This is the yarn. This is the pattern that came with this yarn. So this book, if anyone subscribes, this is the pattern that came with it. This is supposed to be a purse. Kind of fold it up like this and put a little button clasp here. Maybe a little higher, like around there. Put a little button clasp here and you have it. And I mean, I love the look of it. It's beautiful. The yarn is gorgeous. It's perfect to work with. It's amazing. I am confused on why it's this small. Like, this does not say what the finished, how big it should be, the finished product. But if you look at the picture, it is considerably bigger than mine.
Can I have the purse when you're done with it?
No, I'm going to keep the purse. I love it. I'm going to keep it. You have a wallet already. I also have a lot of yarn left over, so I could probably make another. I don't know. I was very confused and a little disappointed. I don't know if it's the pattern that's the problem or if it's me that's the problem. Right now, I'm leaning towards me that's the problem. I do use the yarn over technique, which does make tighter stitches. And as I said before, my whole time crocheting, I've been teaching myself to crochet tight. And if you look at the little picture here and you look at my I don't want to mention the stitch, although anyone who knows the stitch will already know what it is. I don't want to mention what stitch it is because this is not a paid, this is like you have to buy the box. So the pattern is kind of, you have to buy it. And so I don't want to give any details on the patterns, but if you look at this stitch right here is a lot more pronounced than in hers. So it's possible that it's because I crochet really tight. I did see somebody open this box, and one of the Darn Good, I don't remember who the YouTuber is, but she opened the box, she made it, and she showed it off, and hers was a perfectly perfect size for a clutch, like this pattern is. The reason I didn't make it was because I've had this yarn for a while, and I've been planning to make this for a while, but I didn't want it to just be kind of, this is kind of tight, so I don't really need to do anything. But when I saw the person who made it, hers was very, loose. And I'm like, no purse looks nice like that. So I was planning to buy some plastic canvas. Where's the plastic canvas?
This?
And the reason I didn't start working on this was because this is the size of my plastic canvas, and I thought it would be too small. Turns out I was wrong. It's a perfect size. I think I do need to add some more rows because when you fold it like this, the plastic canvas kind of takes some space. But anyways, I might not actually use the plastic canvas at all. I was going to put plastic canvas and then some fabric, sew some fabric on the bottom and then make it. So I was just, I'm going to buy the plastic canvas one day. But now I have nothing to do. Well, not nothing to do. I want to make it. I want to try it. So I thought I'd just make it, then order the plastic canvas to its size, and then I'll have it. But this turned out so small. I will still be using it. I will be putting my business card. This is not my business card, but I will be putting my business cards in here and putting it in my purse like this. If I leave it like this, it's good. If I don't put in plastic canvas, then I'm done. I just need to make an extra row I just need to make the buttonhole and sew on the button, and obviously sew on the sides. If I put the plastic canvas on, which I'm not sure I'm going to, I will have to add some more rows because the plastic canvas will take some space. There's this. This has me kind of questioning whether I can make things besides amigurumi and what sort of steps I would have to do. Like I'm not interested in making wearables at the moment. My mom showed me how to sew, and I sewed up the top that I absolutely love. Spent a lot of money on the fabric, and then when I tried to wear it, it fit. It was tight in weird places and too loose in other places. It was very uncomfortable, and that has actually made me a little afraid to make wearables. So I'm not interested in making wearables. So size doesn't matter as much, and gauge doesn't matter as much. But it has made me think about hook choices, and I need to figure out, just because a pattern says a certain hook, it might not work for me. Like this is the hook. I used the hook that this pattern told me to use for this pattern. I did everything the same. I've been rereading the pattern like so many times because I can't figure out why it's so small. I use the hook that they, no, don't show the hook because some people might realize what hook it is, and I'm not supposed to show anything about the pattern. I will have to rethink what size I make stuff with. Like what size hook. Should I go up one hook, one size bigger? Like if I'm using a 5mm, if it says 5mm, should I use 6mm? I don't know. I need to figure that out. I need to rethink how I'm going to make these projects that are not amigurumi. I mean, the basket is fine. A basket this size, I am happy with. Whoa, why are you sitting on the basket?
I don't know.
I am happy with the basket this size. The other one was, probably about this much bigger. So it is significantly bigger, but I like it. I like this basket, and I'm fine with it being a little smaller. The hat, I probably should have stayed in the adult size hook, because my stitches are tighter. I do have more rows than Fiber Doodles had. So I do have to think about how I'm going to adjust patterns because of the fact that I stitch tight. I think that's it as far as, oh no, I have one more project to show you. I have a doll. It's the same doll as I showed you last time. I stopped working on it when I got the tests, and I need to go back to her and finish her up. I put her eyes on, and her dress is done. I still need to put the buttons in the back. I'm going to actually put hooks on the back. I have her shoes and her hair left to go, and then she will be done. And I'm hoping sometime this week she will be done. Right? This week. Maybe after I finish the first stuff. Or the basket. I don't know. What I like about the basket and the purse are things that I usually don't like about patterns, is that the repetitions are long. So I usually love patterns like this where you only have a few rows of the same thing, and then you switch to something else, and then you switch to something else. I usually like patterns like that. But right now I feel like these projects where there isn't too much difference between the rows, where you have long amount of rows doing the same thing. Like here I carry the same 2 rows for the entire project, and here, after all the increases, it's just the same thing all the way to the top. The thing I like about it is, I guess it's just easier, and right now my mind calls for easier things rather than harder things. Like for instance, this doll where, okay, this is the repetitions are not constant. You only repeat the rows for like a maximum of 5 or 6 rows, and then something happens and it changes. I usually love that type of project. I've made hats before, and I found it tedious because you increase to a certain point, and then the rest of it is just the same stitch for the rest of the hat. But this hat, I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed making the purse, which I would have previously thought was tedious. I enjoyed making the basket. So I feel like right now these projects are calling to me a little bit more, the ones that have has more repetition than the ones that are more complicated like this one. Like, seriously speaking, the shoes, they're not going to take too much time. It's going to be finished really quickly. Sewing on hooks, not too much time. The hair will take a little bit of time. I don't lie. I'm not lying. The hair will take a little bit of time. Actually, a lot of bit of time. But she is so close to finished. I just need to get on her. I will get on her soon.
Are you going to sell her?
Maybe. Maybe she'll be available on my Etsy store. But anyways, she's going to be done soon. Just an FYI, the pattern is, I can't even look it up on my phone because my phone is being used. The pattern, she calls herself Lollipop Dolls. I don't know, it's a Russian name and it's really hard for me to pronounce, especially without the words in front of me. I don't print out my pattern. I use my phone. I have a PDF viewer. I look at the PDF as I'm working on something, and so I don't have a printed out copy. All I could tell you is, I guess I'll write it in the description who this doll is by. She's got an Etsy store. Her dolls are absolutely amazing. I bought 2 patterns. I have one more pattern to work on, and this is my second pattern. The other one was available in Russian before that for free, and I will not tell you the lengths I went to get it translated into English so I can make it. It was beautiful. I made 2 of them. They're really nice. Right now she's selling that pattern, so maybe I'll get it. I don't know. I probably won't because I already made 2 and I'm not likely to make another one because I don't like repeating projects. But she's a really great designer. Her store is on Etsy. She calls herself Lollipop Dolls. Maybe if you do a search for Lollipop Dolls, you'll find her. If not, I'll write down her name on the description. She's worth checking out. Her patterns are a bit pricey though. Just a warning. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please like the video. If you want to hear more from me, please subscribe to the video. Have a great weekend.
Subscribe to me also.
And subscribe to her also, Inaya's Toy Box. Just Inaya's, 3 words. Inaya's Toy and
2
Box.
2 words, because I misspelled Toy Box.
Yes, but there's
Actually,
3 words.
Yeah, right.
All right?
3 words.
So she's Inaya's Toy Box. And she does lots of videos that are interesting for 9-year-olds. Anyways, hope to see you soon. Bye.